The GMC Canyon has earned a reputation as the more refined option in the midsize pickup segment. It promises strong capability, modern technology, and a premium feel without stepping all the way up to a full-size truck. And for a certain type of buyer, that sounds like the perfect balance. But once you move past the brochure and the first test drive, ownership starts to tell a more complicated story. A story that involves pricing decisions, daily comfort, long-term reliability, and how this truck actually fits into real life. Today we're going through 6 reasons why the GMC Canyon may not be the smart buy many people expect it to be. Not because it's a bad truck, but because for a lot of buyers, it doesn't quite deliver on what the badge and the price suggest. Let's start with the issue that usually comes up first. Reason 6, it's priced like a bigger truck, but doesn't live like one. The Canyon is clearly positioned as a premium midsize pickup. GMC doesn't hide that. The design, the branding, and the trim structure all point toward an upscale experience. The problem is that once you configure the truck the way most buyers actually want it, the price climbs very quickly. 4-wheel drive, a higher trim, a few convenience features, and suddenly you're staring at a number that's uncomfortably close to full-size truck money. At that point, many buyers pause, because the question changes from, is this a good mid-size truck, to why am I not getting more truck for this price? Larger pickups offer more interior space, more bed options, and in some cases better long-term value. And once those alternatives enter the picture, the Canyon's pricing becomes harder to justify. Reason 5, very limited configuration flexibility. One of the Canyon's most overlooked drawbacks is how little choice buyers actually get. Crew cab, short bed, that's it. If that setup fits your needs perfectly, you may never think about it again. But if your priorities change even slightly, the limitations become obvious. Contractors hauling long materials, homeowners doing renovation projects, outdoor enthusiasts carrying bulky gear. These are situations where bed length matters. Instead of choosing a configuration that fits your lifestyle, you're forced to work around the truck's design. Over time, those compromises turn into extra trips, awkward loading, and unnecessary frustration, and that's not something most buyers expect when paying a premium price. Reason 4, ride comfort doesn't align with the upscale image GMC markets the Canyon as a refined, comfortable daily driver, but the ride quality tells a more mixed story. Underneath the premium branding, this is still a traditional truck setup. Leaf springs in the rear, suspension tuned for durability and off-road capability. That's not inherently a bad thing. It makes the truck tough and capable, but it also means the ride can feel stiff and unsettled on rough pavement, especially when the bed is empty. Expansion joints, potholes, and uneven roads send noticeable impacts through the cabin. On longer drives, that constant feedback becomes tiring. For buyers expecting SUV-like comfort from a premium midsize pickup, this can be a surprise. Reason 3, rear seat comfort is limited for a crew cab. On paper, the Canyon is a crew cab truck. In practice, the rear seat tells a different story. Legroom is tight, the seating position is upright. Taller passengers will feel constrained, especially on longer drives. For short trips, it's manageable. But for road trips, family use, or work crews, the lack of rear seat comfort becomes a recurring issue. This is one of those problems that doesn't show up during a quick test drive. It shows up months later when passengers start complaining and long trips become something you avoid. Reason 2, one powertrain means no tailoring to your needs. The Canyon comes with a single engine option. It's powerful, torquey, and capable of serious towing, but not everyone needs that level of performance. Some buyers would benefit more from a simpler, more efficient setup for daily driving. Others might prefer an engine tuned differently for longevity or fuel savings. With the Canyon, you don't get to choose. You're paying for maximum output whether you need it or not. Over years of ownership, that affects fuel costs, maintenance expectations, and overall operating expenses. And for buyers who primarily use their truck as a daily driver, that trade-off may not make sense. Reason 1, long-term ownership confidence isn't fully established. This is the most important point. The Canyon is packed with technology, large screens, advanced software, electronic systems controlling everything from driving modes to infotainment. That brings convenience and features, but it also brings complexity. Owners have reported various issues ranging from infotainment glitches to drivetrain behavior that requires dealer visits. Some problems are resolved with software updates. Others take time and repeated service appointments. For buyers who lease short-term, this may not be a major concern, but for long-term owners, reliability confidence is everything. And right now, that confidence isn't as strong as it should be for a truck positioned as a premium product. Final thoughts. The GMC Canyon isn't a bad truck, but it is a very specific one. It works best for buyers whose needs align exactly with its configuration, pricing, and driving characteristics. If you value flexibility, long-term simplicity, and maximum value for your money, these 6 points deserve serious consideration before you commit, because trucks aren't impulse purchases, they're long-term decisions, and the things that seem small at first are usually the things that matter most years down the road. If you own a GMC Canyon, share your experience in the comments, and if you're cross-shopping midsize pickups, let me know which ones you're comparing. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.